only married for 6 months when my husband was first diagnosed. He's only 32 years old. If you approve the bone marrow transplant, I know he'll make it. You have never seen anyone fight like him, no one.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Holland, but your claim has been denied.
Then I'll appeal.
Mrs. Holland, this is your appeal.
Then I'll appeal again.
Look, I understand your frustration, but we're an insurance company, and the way that these experimental procedures work is their mortality rates are higher than their success rates. As callous as it may sound, it's just not a good risk for us to take.
This is my husband's last chance. His last chance to live. Do you understand that? Because if you did...
I hesitate to say this because I don't want to raise your hopes, but there may be a way that we can position your appeal so that my bosses will approve it. That's my home number. Maybe we could discuss it later on in the week over dinner or drinks. You could call me anytime.
Call you at home. Oh, I get it. So you're saying that if I sleep with you, you'll somehow find a way to push Peter's claim through. You should be ashamed of yourself. Do you hear me? Ashamed. You are supposed to be helping people, helping save their lives, and this is what you do?
So how are the girls taking it? I mean, Pascale's suing Aaron for custody. I don't think they really understand what's going on, but I'll tell you, I love those little girls, and if we couldn't see them anymore, I'd be almost as hurt as Aaron would be.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, you don't have to give birth to a child that love her like your own.
Do you really believe that?
I have to. You know, I mean, if I didn't think Megan was a good mother to Amy, I'd never forgive myself for the choices I made.
Do you think you'll ever tell Will that he's Amy's father?
I think it's a little too late for that. If Greg found out who the father was, he'd never forgive me, and Will's finally happy. He's a lawyer now, helping to defend Aaron. You know, I think I've done enough to mess up his life already.
Okay, I've gone through a list of available mediators. Unless we agree on some names.
Excuse me, counselor. I'm sorry to have wasted your time, but my client has changed her mind about mediation.
Changed her mind?
My client has decided to return to France.
France?
And as shared custody would be rendered infeasible by her relocation unless your client is willing to cede full custody to her right now, I'm afraid we'll have no choice but to take this matter to trial.
You're gonna take the girls to France and you can't even tell me yourself?
It is not in your best interest to address my client directly, Mr. Lewis.
Okay, your client is my ex-wife.
Aaron, please.
What, is it in her best interest to ruin her kids' lives? To rip them away from home and take them halfway across the world? Is it?
Aaron. You should also be aware that as child support will certainly be an issue, we'll be seeking to freeze your client's assets until such time as a payment schedule is agreed upon.
I'll take it under consideration.
Thank you for your time. And unless we hear from you by the end of the day, we'll see you in court.
What the hell was that about?
Gamesmanship. He's trying to scare
Yeah,
you.
well, he succeeded. Aaron, come back here. Aaron. Pascale. Why are you doing this?
Because I love those girls, and they need to be with their mother. Finally, the egg rolls.
Go.
Jenna Moretti,
Yeah.
you're served.
Hey, they bring more of that spicy mustard?
Not exactly.
It's a subpoena from Pascale's lawyer. I have to testify tomorrow.
Found it here yesterday. I can keep a secret for the right donation.
Yeah, got mine this morning. $100,000, that's all it says. Mine's a map. Drop-off point. Who do you think's blackmailing us? Could be anyone. It's not like the six of us haven't accumulated a few enemies over the years. We have to pay it, you know. It's a lot of money, Craig. Well, what if it's someone who saw something that night? Someone who knows what we did?
Yeah, but paying it makes us vulnerable.
Not any more than we are now. Listen, Craig's right. We need to pay it. This is a secret we need to keep.
I've never known a secret that didn't come out eventually.
Hey. You okay? I wasn't expecting to see you.
I can't stay. I have to get back to the hospital, but I need to talk to you.
Yeah, sure, of course. What's going on?
Peter isn't doing well. The tests keep coming back saying the same thing.
Carla, I'm so sorry.
But there's one last thing that we can try. A bone marrow transplant. But it costs a lot of money and the insurance company won't cover it.
What? They can just decide not to cover it?
They're calling it experimental. It's just not a good risk for them. Look, I'm just gonna say it. And I'm so sorry for the timing, but is there any way that I can borrow the money from you? I will pay back every cent, even if it takes the rest of my life.
Carla, I can't. They froze my assets until the custody case is over. I mean, I would write you a check this second for however much money, but I can't. I'm sorry.
It's just as well. Peter asked me not to beg my friends for handouts.
Carla, come on. Peter is our friend, too.
He could die, Aaron. And I can't do anything about it. I feel so helpless.
Be okay, all right? We'll figure it out, I promise.
Thanks. Good luck today.
I understand you've lived in Mr. Lewis's home for the past year.
Yes, to help him with the girls.
To help him with the girls. Are you saying that Mr. Lewis is incapable of caring for his daughters on his own?
Not at all. Aaron Lewis is the most loving, capable, and committed father I've ever known.
Really? Well, you sound quite taken with him. Are you sleeping with him, Ms. Moretti?
Objection, Your Honor. What does this witness's personal life have to do with Mr. Lewis's ability as a father?
I'm simply trying to establish what kind of home life environment Mr. Lewis has created for his children.
I'll allow it.
So, tell the court, Ms. Moretti. Do you and Mr. Lewis have an intimate relationship?
You told me you weren't sleeping with Jenna.
I wasn't. Until recently, I didn't think it was that important.
It's my job to decide what's important, not yours. You're the father, Aaron, which means you started this trial with 2 strikes against you, and your friend in there may have been your 3rd.
All right, so how do we fix this?
You're gonna have to let me go after Pascale.
Drag her through the mud like they did Jenna?
Aaron, do you want to keep your girls or not?
Fine, do what you have to do.
Before we re-adjourn, I want to know every one of Pascale's shortcomings. As a mother, as a person, I want every piece of dirt you got.
Dirt? That shouldn't be too difficult. Just tell the truth. Pascale abandoned those little girls like 2 stray cats.
Jenna, that's awful.
You know, I always wonder if there was another guy, maybe back in Europe or something. Sam, Pascale never said anything to you, like on one of your play dates or anything, right?
What about another guy? No, of course not. You know, maybe there isn't anything to vilify her with. I mean, truth be told, I always thought Pascale seemed like an excellent mother.
Really? An excellent mother. Do excellent mothers get on a plane to France without their daughters for 9 months? Take it easy, Aaron.